Is it A or C that I have to press?
You have to go to exit, so just press left. Oh man, it's been, you know, I've wanted to get this game on our channel for so long.
I remember going to freaking Barcade with you, and I just kept hearing Daytona in the background, and I'm going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Also, wait, I see two modes here. Arcade mode and Saturn mode. What's that about?
To be honest, I haven't figured this part out yet. It seems pretty dumb, but I haven't like actually figured it out yet.
Press C to choose.
Yeah, Sega. So in addition to fighting games, Sega is they are really good at racing games too. They've always had racing games and like the mechanics down to a T.
Rolling start. Okay. And once again, the graphics do not look bad here.
After playing the PS3 version, it's kind of tough, but yeah, I do see what you're saying. Like, it's not too bad. Granted, we're upscaling it to HDMI. Yeah, this is Daytona USA. This is the game I probably played the most on the Saturn, just because it's racing, it's fun. Oops.
Very nostalgic, and honestly, like, I can see myself ripping the controller playing this as a kid back in the day. Holy shit.
Oh, that's why.
That guy was grinding your little shit. Oh, so that's bullshit. Look at the speed.
What?
That is not 150 miles an hour.
You have to pay attention to how fast everything is moving by you.
Yeah, I'm looking. That's not 150 miles an hour. 170? Bullshit.
It's all relative once you get past like 150. Fuck. Ah. Yeah. Last time I played this was on a PS3 controller, so it's a little tough. But I absolutely love this game. In case anyone couldn't tell, it's tricky. You gotta really play around with the shifting. So you can pick automatic or you could pick manual, right? And when you pick manual, you're actually kind of doing worse. Sorry, no. Your car is going a lot faster. If you pick manual, your car ends up going faster. It's not really that it is going faster, but you get to the higher speeds a lot quicker. That's what it is. Oh, you gotta shift down. The thing is,
wrecked your shit.
You gotta keep like the shifting up. You gotta be on the up and up with that. The worst part is that also, yeah, you gotta pay attention to the checkpoints and stuff like that. It's like a real car, because once it gets to like the orange part, you have to shift up, and then if you're turning, you have to shift back down to kind of like slow down a bit so you could turn through it, and then shift back up again. It's really complicated. It's really tough, but it's still one of the most popular games that came on the Sega Saturn. This is fun because there are a bunch of codes that if you put in, like, I don't know if this one's gonna work, but if you put something like this, it's gonna play a different song. Oh, it's supposed to be OR. For Outrun, it will play the music from Outrun.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, there's like 20 different codes or something like that.
Try the Saturn mode. What's that about?
Saturn, I think it just gives you more options. No? It seems to be the exact same thing. Oh, here's another. While we're like trying to, you know, be all informative and shit. So actually, even though the game is called Daytona USA, it's actually not really close to the Daytona track, like the real life Daytona track in Florida.
Oh, I see.
No, it's closer to Pocono, because this is a triangle, whereas Daytona isn't a triangle; it's an oval. I find that really strange, but whatever.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
So I guess they figured, oh, let's take the popular name of the racetrack and just make that the name of the game.
Yeah. Also, there are no trees and forests and mountains in Florida quite like this. Oop. There's a first-person mode. If you play it on arcade, they refer to it as the VR mode. Even though you're not in virtual reality.
Quite literally.
Guys, back in the day, everything they tried to shill VR up the ass, and they weren't too good at it.
Oh, there you go, flipping again.
So now I gotta get back down to the other gear. And then when it goes up, I gotta turn it to 3. It's tough. Your car gets destroyed, and you can't take it into pits to like fix the wheels to make it handle better. But I kind of don't see the point, because if you do that, you end up losing a lot of laps. Like, you wouldn't be able to recover all the laps off of that. So it doesn't actually make sense. God damn it. I miss my PS3 controller.
It's not really the most comfortable controller. It just looks like a freaking Genesis controller.
You know what it is? I can't map the controls here to be more to my liking. So I have to do all the shifting with the D-pad. Shifting is with the D-pad? Yes, shifting is with the D-pad. So when you pick this up, I recommend you pick automatic. And the thing is, I keep forgetting. Down shifts you up shifts you down. And that shit is confusing when you're trying to make a turn at 195 miles per hour.
What the fuck?
There you go, that's how you do a turn. Okay, I still hit the wall. But that's more or less it. I want to see people. I want to one day beat like the hardest round of this is just like 80 on the hardest difficulty, 80 laps on the hardest difficulty. Possibly a TSG versus episode at one point.
Yeah, why not?
But I've tried. It gets really frustrating because you get like 20 laps in, and either you stop making progress or you mess up, and it's like, fuck, I gotta do all that again.
You'll probably wreck your car completely.
Up shifts down, down shifts up.
Why?
You could use.
There are bumpers. There are bumper buttons there. Why don't they use them?
You know what? I was gonna say that during the earlier portions of this video, but it kind of feels like the Saturn was another game console where they really didn't utilize the bumpers much, and they should have. They're pretty good bumpers for the time, you know, consider it.
Quite literally. I mean, they're there. They could have easily been used for the shifting up and down.
No. All right. Let me pass it over to you.
Pick this up. Again.
Oh, try to put in O.R.
I kind of like what they did there. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Sega always had a lot of like charm and personality. Yes. And then go to period, and now go to the R, which is not Q, and then go end. It should work.
Did it work? Oh, that's so cool! That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah. We should like link it in the description or something, but there's
what are the options?
There's a site that has all of it.
Game mode.
Yeah, see, Grand Prix is you just go through all of them. Endurance, I guess, is endless, something like that. Then you have the difficulties. You have the enemy levels. That's like a second difficulty, really.
You can actually assign.
Oh, you can assign it. Oh, okay.
Oh, wait a minute.
You have to pick their design.
That makes so much more sense, though.
V1, accelerate, brake, shift up, shift down. Yeah.
And then there's gear.
You could jump to the gears. Okay. I don't know if that. I wonder how useful that would be, though.
And then there's an edit, but let me just go to B.
Because it makes sense.
It does make way more sense. Wait. Accelerate. Okay, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, accelerate C. B is for brake, and then the shoulders switch.
We'll just do regular arcade.
I realized playing that actually arcade kind of had like a slightly better. It had better sound effects than the Saturn mode.
It really did. The sound effects kind of went nowhere. Like they were gone. Also, I'm really seeing the logo on the car from your shirt. Gallop?
Yeah, Gallop. It's pretty funny. They put that together with Hornet.
I put automatic anyway, so...
Yeah. The thing is, I want to unlock it. I don't know if you can in the Saturn mode, but there's a karaoke mode too.
A karaoke mode?
You just endlessly play through the level while the song is playing and the lyrics are on the screen. And it's not so much about like beating the clock or whatever. You just play for fun. That might be exclusive to the PS3 version. I haven't figured that out yet.
I like this view. Kind of like this view.
Also, while we're fun facting people,
oh, that's not what I wanted.
I think this track is this track is actually very similar to another Sega racing game, but where you were on like bikes. I never figure out what that game was again.
Road Rash?
No, I think Road Rash was by Midway. But there's a Sega game that has a track just like this. I remember playing on my computer, but instead you're on a bike, and it was actually it was a really good game. Wish I could find it again.
We're gonna have to find it one day.
Yeah.
It sounds like an interesting game.
Yeah. I have like a million theories about this, the development of this game, but I think someone should honestly develop a documentary based on this, because it's like it must have such an interesting story. Why did a Japanese team decide to make a video game about a wildly popular American sport at the time?
I mean, who's to say this isn't popular in Japan? We're not there. We don't know.
My theory is kind of like they came over here to do some scouting, like maybe research for an upcoming game or console or something like that. And they ended up doing they ended up getting tickets to go see a race, like sponsored, you know? So they just went out and they got to see it and they're like, wow, it's so exciting, all the racing. Let's make a game out of it, you know? That would be pretty nuts.
Oh, I goofed. I didn't do too good.
Yeah, automatic, you end up going a little bit slower. But that's because you're not accelerating like perfectly. I was actually talking to my dad about this. The difference is that in automatic, it always goes to like the middle. So if you're doing it manual, you can actually shift better than the automatic. And that's why you end up going faster.
I see.
Also, the third stage is bullshit. I hate that stage. It just
I mean,
doesn't make sense.
I see how crazy it is. I chose the advanced one because I figured, hey, it's a different racetrack. Let me try it. But yeah, I went to a manual, so let's see how this works.
And thinking about like what they could have taken for inspiration from these games, the main car, the title car, which is basically just this, but instead of yellow and red, it's blue and red. Kind of the color scheme kind of reminds me of basically the greatest NASCAR driver of all time, Richard Petty. Same colorway, kind of. And I thought to myself, like, maybe they really did a lot of research on this sport and just kind of put things in there to make sense. When you go into first-person mode, the HUD looks a lot like, you know, that of a NASCAR.
It really does, like an old-school NASCAR.
These cars they resemble a lot the Generation 3 NASCARs, which were the coolest looking. They had this kind of V on the front. Like, it looked polygonal.
Yeah,
in real life.
Yeah.
I was looking at the cover one day and then I saw that. I'm like, wait a minute, this is totally the Gen 3. So it's nice. It's nice that the team had that much attention to detail. Like, this was in a time when people making video games would like actually care and put all this effort into stuff and do some research. It was very nice. In this stage, there's something that if you go the wrong way, there's like a tunnel. And then if you go to the end of the tunnel, there's a giant sign that says you just lost all your sponsors.
What the fuck?
And then on the third stage, there's a big statue of Jeffrey from Virtua Fighter. If you drive by him and you press a certain button, the statue will start to spin. And like dance and stuff like that or whatever.
I see what you mean about the whole like drifting turning thing. It's much better.
Yeah. Shift up.
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. When you hear that engine, like, getting up there, that means that it's time to shift up. Because you're at the top. you won't be able to go much faster until you shift to the next gear.
Oh fuck! Smacking into the side.
Yeah, like I have a suspicion that these games and also other Sega racing games, they probably got a lot of kids into driving like later on in life, like race car driving and like how cars work and stuff like that, because they're very detailed.
Yeah, for me it was definitely Gran Turismo.
Yeah,
Definitely Gran Turismo.
yeah, that would be even better because that was actually realistic, whereas this is more arcade. This is more just, it's more of a game. It's just the shifting is very realistic, very car-like.
Yeah, the shifting up and down works so much better.
Yeah, because you know you need left and right to turn, so then suddenly you have to push up or down to shift.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Takes you from the action. Dude, I always thought that shifting was for dummies, and then I started to play this game. I'm like, wait, actually, I go a little faster. It kind of makes sense. The pit is over to the left. But again, I never understood how it made sense to... I feel like they put that in there for the novelty of it. It doesn't actually benefit you in any way, so why would you do it?
That might be it.
Because you go...
Oh, there I go flipping.
Yeah, you fix your car up, you fix your tires up, but then a lot of people have passed you by. You've lost a lot of track position, as they say.
The funny thing is, though, when you see like a pit stop crew work in real life, it's like instant.
Yeah.
Like you go in, bam, bam, out.
Yeah, it doesn't look anything like the real deal. In this game, it looks kind of... To me, I would compare it to... It looks like Rob the Robot. That's kind of what it looks like to me.
Really?
Because they don't really move, from what I remember. They just stand in place. They take the tire from the left. They put the tire to the right in the car, and then that's about it. Yeah, in real life, it's like they gotta get in, they gotta get out. So they do like pit stops as fast as like 9-8 seconds. Go.
Well.
Oh man, I can't remember another one of the codes.
You placed 19.
Well, that sucks. I'm almost last.
Yeah, the game is very unforgiving. That's just Daytona USA.
Alright.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little bonus episode.
That's right. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and yeah, we'll catch you in the next video.
Bye.